welcome a return guest, Tonya. Everyone know Tonya was with me last week.
Was that last week?
Yes. Was it week before last? Wow, time went by so quickly. Week before last, Tonya was on my session with her and her fiance, Sherrod. And I'm so happy to have her back here. And such a timely space, because today, earlier, I had Keishel Davis on and we were talking about the upcoming dream board. And she said something very important if you tuned in. She said that one of the things that holds everyone back from accomplishing their dreams is fear. And that is what we're talking about tonight with Tonya. She's basically going to take us down a journey of her faith and how she stepped out on faith. Definitely, if you are a person that wants to become an entrepreneur, or maybe you're just tired of living life the way it is, I think this is a great place to be tonight. Feel free to ask any questions. We're here for 1 hour, and Tonya is going to answer any question that you ask her pertaining to what we're talking to. So welcome again to Faith Talk, Tonya. You look so beautiful. I see the comments come in, and I see your fiance is here, Sherrod. Seek sweetness in the green. You have to clarify the greens. We have all kind of greens on here. I know. But thanks for joining us, everyone that is here. Thank you for joining us. So Tonya, tonight we're gonna talk about your faith journey, where you were, and where you are now. I know that there was a season in your life when it became very scary.
Yeah.
It became very scary, but you had to jump out in the deep, trusting that you will not drown. All right, so tell us a little bit about Tonya and your career, because that is what we're talking about tonight, career. All right, tell us, Tonya, where did you start off?
Boy, my career kind of ran the gamut. I started out in office management. I majored in management in college. So I figured with the management, I guess following that career path or following that degree, you can't go wrong. You can manage anything once you have a degree in that. So I started out in office management. That took me really to medical office management. What else did I do? I did spa management. I did retail for almost 10 years. I was a buyer as well in perfume and cosmetics, hence my love for makeup.
Your love for makeup, indeed.
But yeah, and then which took me to like visual marketing, because with retail, a John Bull, a cosmetic boutique, like that sort of stuff, anything visual we like to see. We like to see full shelves. We like to see transparencies with celebrities displaying a product, whether it's a fragrance or some kind of skincare. What else? And then I went into full-blown marketing, which kind of took me over the top. And that, I left school. I've been out of school a couple good years.
Oh. That's okay.
Yeah,
so basically everything you did was about marketing, because I know you, Tonya, your mind just goes 0 to 100 when it comes to marketing. Everything is marketing. But tell me, you've worked as a makeup artist, not a makeup artist, but you've managed that.
Yeah.
You've managed the spa and all of that stuff. What would have caused you to move from place to place?
I think, I'm definitely a visual learner, and so I found that I needed to be stimulated mentally. I find that I was very versatile. Like I could work frontline as well as behind the scenes. So frontline meaning, customers, you deal with them, they come in, etc. Or behind the scenes, which is you just making everybody else look good. That's on the front line, you know what I mean? And so with that, since I found out that I was versatile, I was like, well, gee, the sky's the limit now. And so I kind of did that.
Okay, so tell me, Tonya, was it fearful anytime you left these other jobs? Were you in fear anytime you left?
No, because I almost, to be honest, I feel like any opportunity I took, most times the opportunities I took were presented to me, so they were offered. Someone saw me somewhere, they presented an opportunity. I thought about it. Maybe back then when I was younger, maybe not prayed about it, but it felt right. So I kind of went with a gut instinct. And those opportunities, I just kind of ran with them. And
that's basically it.
Yeah.
I want to get straight to the part. This is the good part, because it's going to take us a while, and I want the viewers to understand, how fear can almost take over your mind and literally cause you not to go out there and live life purposely.
Yeah.
So there was a season in your life that not too long ago, you were working, and how did you know that it was time? How did you know that you were ready to get out there? I mean, talk about the tug, Tonya. I want you to talk to us. Talk to us about everything. Talk about the tug of war, because there was a part when I got to stay here because I got Layla. I got to do this because talk to us.
Anyone that knows me knows how much of a mom I am.
Yes.
So currently she's 10. I have a 10-year-old. And so when you have that kind of responsibility, obviously it's intense. Because you want to provide for your child, and everything else that comes along with that. So with any career path, I don't want to say job, but anything I ventured into, I tend to, give it 100%.
Yeah.
And if I find that my time is up, meaning I'm not stimulated anymore, or, things are not working out, they say familiarity breeds contempt, so maybe your employers they kind of getting to you now, or getting on you, or, I would make a decision. Opportunities were obviously presented to me, and so I decided to just take the leap. What pushed me into being an entrepreneur, I would say, would be I started to become uncomfortable. It started to, there were other factors at work, that I took into consideration. But with all jobs, there are challenges.
Yeah.
I started to feel uncomfortable. I started to feel trapped. I started to feel like I wasn't being challenged. I started to feel like I could be doing this at home. I can do this for myself. And I read something one morning. I don't know if it was on my way to work or whether I was at my desk, and it basically said in so many words, you can either build your own dream or help build someone else's dream.
So true.
And that's exactly what I was doing. And no offense to the dreamers, because that's how they got their start.
Exactly.
They had to start at some point, and then they built to the point where they could hire somebody like me that would make their company or their brands or the organization flourish.
Yeah.
Which was great. But I knew it was time.
You knew.
I just felt it.
Like,
I felt
you didn't want to get up for work? Was it like that? Like that feeling that comes over you,
well,
like, I don't want to go to work today?
There's always that, I'm so tired, I don't want to get up for work. But there's a different feeling. I can't explain it. You just know. It's like, I know any mother that's watching, when you know the maternal instinct.
Yeah.
You know the I got to get up and fly instinct. You know when it's time. You feel it. You just feel it. It's this is bigger, that you feel like there has to be more to life than this. That's the feeling.
Yeah.
Not, I just don't feel like going to work. Oh, I'm so tired. I don't want to see Kiki today. Oh, she made me mad last week. No, it's more than that. It's, I have to do what I have to do.
So Tonya, tell us, the other times that you would have, went from job to job, you were just a single woman with, dating, but, with Layla.
Yeah.
What was the difference now with being engaged and having to make such a big decision?
Well, I think within the time that I was dating, I was about to say something. I think within the time that I seriously considered a career, that I was within a career, my partner was very supportive. I almost feel like that's probably one of the reasons why we got together, or we maintained our relationship, is because I was career driven, lots of ambition, always concentrating on what I had to do, making it better. How can I do this? How can I do the next thing? Ideas. Let's take it to the next level, kind of thing. And employers look for that in an employee.
They do.
I feel like I almost bought into the vision, whichever company I was with. And so the last company that I worked with, because we were close to getting married, I considered everything. And the first time I went to him, we're both serious about our careers.
Yeah.
So it took a lot for me to go to him and say, listen, it's getting a little rough. And initially he knows that I'm tough. So he said, you could handle that. Don't worry. And so it went on for a period of time, and I just, I was just studying it out. And I stayed, and I battled, and I got things done. And with every challenge, you become stronger. So you could almost take anything. And then there's another dynamic that's presented. The woman who's working where men are at the top, okay, you two after. Where I was working in a male dominated field. And so, you know what that presents.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part they respected my opinion. I don't doubt that at all. But they're still the owners, you know what I mean? And so like I said, for my partner, I went and I said, listen, this is becoming like a bit of a challenge now. I'm not sure what's gonna happen because, and he said, well, try and stick it out. And, that was more of a conversation. The second time I went back to him, I said, okay, this is becoming too much. Like, I am not motivated. I feel trapped. There has to be more to life than this. Do you have anything for me to do? I can work with you today.
I know.
And so, he started, and then I think I'm sure I started. He said I was complaining, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
It comes with any job that you work. But I definitely felt those feelings that it was time. And so as time wore on, we knew that we were getting married. It was close. And so he said, okay, see if you could just stick it out. And I knew at that point, if he had to say that to me, that was totally out of character for me. I knew if he had to say that to me, that was a red flag, because, hi, that's right. Because I've never had that happen where he's had to say to me, stick it out,
Yeah.
And then after that, I think I just lost motivation, because eventually I said, I can do this. I can be home and do this.
Yeah.
And I kind of measured it. I didn't jump into a business like at all, but I started thinking. So my wheels started turning.
I want to stop you right here, Tonya, because I just want the audience to be able to follow what is happening.
Okay.
You didn't just jump up today and decided that I was going on my own.
No.
This was a thought process over how many years? How long were you?
Actually, not many years. Not years at all.
Not at all.
More like weeks.
Wow.
Probably that maybe maximum 3 months, maybe.
That you were thinking.
Right. And the 3-month process, I'll tell you, at month 1 wasn't I have a plan. That was not it. Maybe month 3, maybe the last month before I left, or last month and a half was somewhat or formulation of a plan. Nothing more.
But somewhere
because I knew that my time had expired. I knew it. I just, listen, your gut never leads you wrong.
I believe in the gut feelings.
Never, ever,
I believe
ever,
in
ever.
the gut. I believe.
Freddie, say
I
one more,
believe.
please.
I believe in the gut feelings. But Tonya, tell me, even during the thought process of, I'm ready to give in my resignation letter, I'm ready to leave this place, I am sure that fear jumped in. Talk about fear,
Boy.
and talked about that monster that jumped in and say, you know what, I gotta stay here anyway. Talk about him, fear.
Oh, it was such a huge. Fear was a huge factor. You heard about Fear Factor? Remember the TV show? She like getting stories to do this. Fear was a big factor, and I remember it's so funny because I remember calling Kiki one day from work, and I was like, Kiki, I can't do this, blah blah blah. And I was talking to her as a girlfriend, not so much for approval or for her to justify why I should do it or if I should do it. It was me venting.
Yeah.
I for the most part I make my own decisions, but I just said the feeling I had getting closer to the time that I left or sent or handed in a resignation letter was there has to be more to life than this. I'd never had that feeling, which was so weird for me. And I tried to explain it to my fiance, and he was like, and it's weird because he's an entrepreneur himself.
Right, I
said, I can't do this. And he was like, what do you mean you can't do this? I said, when is the last time you worked for someone?
Right.
And, at that point, I think he was like, wow, she has a point. Like,
yeah.
I don't know the last time I worked for someone, and and he knew when he got to that point because he decided, he had come back from school and he got a job offer, worked, and he said, just as a creative, he said, he felt boxed in and people wouldn't let him, he would bring things to the table over and over again, and the powers that be were just like, the powers that be were just like, no, push your idea away or say, okay, we'll deal with it later or
right.
that kind of thing. And so I said, well, why can't you understand that this is how I'm feeling? Like, but nevertheless, we had responsibilities, and so I decided to try and stick it out. But I still had that feeling every morning for about a month. Okay. Every morning for about a month, I had that feeling, and it was at some point it got like gut wrenching. Like, oh, do I have to come here?
I know.
And then, like I said, because I couldn't leave because of my responsibilities,
right?
I was unmotivated after that.
Wow.
And I could say that we had kind of a lull, So at work, so it wasn't like we were moving like that. So I guess I kind of took advantage of it, and I started, like I said, my wheels started turning. And I was just like, well, what can I do?
Right.
And it's weird because I said to myself, what can I do? And the answer was right in front of me.
It was always in you, actually. I really want to get into the faith. I mean, you left today.
Yeah.
Talk to us, Tonya. You left today. And immediately, I don't want to spill the beans, but talk about what faith does. I mean, when you decide to say, "Fair, you know what? I don't care about you."
Right, because you literally, not literally, you figuratively jump off a cliff.
You do.
You just jump, and that's one of the books that I read. The book by Steve Harvey called Jump.
Right.
But clearly that wasn't for me, and that's not the plan that God had.
Exactly.
And so I left. I mean, everything was fine, no burnt bridges.
So let me ask you a question, Tonya, because, a lot of times when we are stepping out on faith, of course, the enemy will try to challenge you, and he will challenge you to the point of maybe offering you something else, or something prettier.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a manipulative spirit that comes along and decides that, let me offer Tonya something and maybe she won't leave.
Yeah.
Did that happen to you, or you were safe?
There was nothing offered to me. I know that mid journey or a couple weeks after I had jumped and my parachute opened, somebody came to me and said, "Hey, there's local multi-million-dollar company, and we have those here, believe it or not, that has this opening, and we think you would be great for it." Okay, so no, I remember Mid-Journey, multi-million-dollar company. They have an opening for a senior position in marketing, and I said, I've already gotten my bearings now. Do I really want to go back into the corporate circle? God said no.
Yeah, it was
So
time
I
to leave.
didn't even entertain that.
It was time to leave.
But I will say that, you know, of course, like I said, they said, okay, well, we'll let you wrap up early,
Right.
which is fine. The Monday morning, my first day as an entrepreneur, this is the summer, my daughter's out of school, there's no reason to wake up early. You know, and the average person would be like, yes, they stretch in and, you know, it's all good. Listen, said there was some voice, and you know it ain't going. There was some voice, and he said, "What are you doing? Do you know anything about being an entrepreneur?
Wow.
Do you know how to make money? You don't know what you..." So you give up that
Mr.
salary.
Fair again, right.
So you gave up that salary because you think that you could do this. You cannot do this. You don't know what you're doing. You don't even know what you're starting with. What is the first thing you're going to do? Do you have a client? You don't even have a client. What are you doing? And I was like, oh my God, I made the dumbest decision.
Right. So it wanted to make you feel as if you
Right.
were defeated. Like
Totally defeated. I mean, and I was laying in that bed and I was like, well, Motto, you know the face palm emoji for all the phones.
Like, Tonya, what am I doing?
What the hell?
I know.
I did not know what I did.
And I think at some point, if I could just get a little personal, you called me and you was like, Kiki, what did I do? And I was like, what are you talking about?
Yes,
because
was
you know,
like,
here it is. You don't have to get up for work anymore.
Nope.
Layla's on vacation.
Yes.
And so what did I do? Because I'm not going to work.
yeah. How I can make money?
So reality set in.
Wait, I have a whole wedding coming up.
Right.
How I can do this? Oh my God.
Wow.
And so then another voice came and it said, I got you. You put your plans forward
That is it.
and we can go from there.
That is it. That is key.
I did not bring you this far to leave you. And for me, I was like, okay. And a sense of calm came over. And I was okay.
Wow. I want you viewers, if you're watching this, I really want you to get this. I mean, I wanted to take Tonya straight here because it's so important to understand that people say little voices don't play in your head. They do.
Child,
And these
they are
little
very
people,
present.
they will come and they will begin to tell you things to
can't
make
do
you
it.
feel defeated.
Yeah, you can't do it. Who do you think you are? What are you doing? Do you even know what you're doing? You know.
And you know what I like about your story, Tonya? At no point you said that you spoke to anyone, because a lot of times people will tell
Oh,
you no.
my goodness.
I mean, you spoke to Sherrod, your
Yeah.
fiance, and
Yeah.
you know, at first he said stick it out, but then when he realized that you were unhappy,
Yeah.
he said, well, let's move on.
Yeah.
But could you imagine if you had spoken to?
Yeah, no. It wouldn't have been good. Because, I mean, the society we live in tells you, if you're not a doctor, I feel like my fiance, if you're not a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, what else? What
Yeah,
else?
he said that on the session.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
On our session. Doctor, lawyer, accountant, what else? Anyway, any of those fields, then you're unsuccessful. You know, in particular, if you're in a creative field, we don't have room for that. You know what I mean? And so as a society, and so as an entrepreneur, like I still don't feel, maybe now, but I don't feel like our society encourages young people to do that. You could have a college degree, and you could, but what are you doing with it? Does that mean that you have to? Because many students come back here and they can't find a job.
This is so true.
So what are you gonna do? I have a friend actually that. Okay. I have a friend that came back, that moved back recently from New York with his family. And he works in information technology. And it's been nothing. And he worked at a university in New York City. And the process has been slow, and he is so frustrated. And I told him, I said, listen, you want me brand new?
You gotta create, yeah.
You have to create this.
You have to create.
And you have to walk into wherever you're going, and I am so and so, and this is what I bring to the table. This is why you wanna book me. This is why you want to,
Yeah.
I think we have some questions coming in.
I just want to answer. There was someone that asked about this being posted to YouTube. Yes, the session will be uploaded to YouTube. Not this week, but next week, Thursday. Every Thursday, a new video uploads to my channel. So make sure subscribe, like it, and enjoy. Relive the moment. But Tonya, if you have questions too, you can send them in. Tonya, time is winding down, but we want to get there. You heard two voices.
Yeah.
One of defeat and one telling you that I got you. When did you know for sure that God had you? Tell us about that. When were you sure that he had your back?
Honestly, I knew he had me that day. I tell you that I was laying in bed, and I almost want to say it was June 1st. It was July. Sorry, was it? It was July 1st.
Has it been that long already?
Yeah, because I wrapped up, and I think July 1st was a Monday.
I could still
or
remember
July
that
2nd
conversation
was a
like
Monday.
yesterday.
Yeah, and it was amazing. I've never heard any voices ever come to me and say something like that. And I guess it makes sense, because what was I do? I've always worked for people. Always. Never thought about, I mean, maybe the idea had run around in my mind, but I hadn't, I didn't say, oh, I'm going to become an entrepreneur. No, because I was content with working for people and making their brands work, because that's what I do. Whatever I do, I give it 100%. And so it was dedication, it was loyalty, it was let's go, let's get this done, and now it's my brand. I'm gonna work for myself, and I have to because you work long hours for people, and then you second guess doing it for yourself, and so I felt those two voices. There was the fear, there was the you can't do this, and then there was you got this. And every day since that day, it's been let's go.
Probably people are curious. Did you get any clients? Like, how soon did you get an opportunity?
Oh, I had a client before I left.
Are you hearing this, everybody?
And it's so funny because it was a friend of mine who was starting their company and would come to me for advice because I was doing marketing. And so that's what you need when
Yeah.
And so they'd come and they'd say, oh, how to do this. And so I was spewing knowledge because remember now, I didn't have much to do. So I wasn't stimulated at work. So I was stimulated there. I mean, with everything else, but when you're not stimulated at work, anybody that comes to me, so for example, you're starting Finding Faith. If you would come to me and said, Tonya, oh my God, how can I start this? How can I get it out there? How can I do this? How can I do that? I'd say to you, okay, Kiki, you gotta do this, because that is me, it became me. I will spew knowledge, and I was like, I've given this information free.
Yeah.
And I could, you know what I mean? And so I just kind of ran with it. I just kind of ran with it. But my first client, like I said, that was my client without me knowing. That was my first client.
But that is because you stepped out on faith.
Yeah. And so I think I indicated my frustration a little bit, I spoke to it, and I think he passed on my name. And so the minute I left, the company owner called me and said, "We'd like to meet with you because we want you to take us to the next level."
Wow.
Wow. So yeah.
We got some comments here. Veronica Knowledge is saying, "As you should, now it's time to brand you." That is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
If you could do it for them, you will dive and push yourself more. Dazruddin says, "I stepped out of my comfort zone recently and I'm still fighting the voices." Oh, wow. Tonya, what advice would you give her?
I'd go for it. You can't go wrong. I always said, I've said, I don't think God brings you to anything if he's not going to bring you through it. So just do it. Do it.
That is so
There's
true.
What's holding you back?
Fair.
You have nothing to lose.
But fair
Absolutely
does.
nothing.
But fair does.
I understand that. But you have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain.
I know that a lot of times, even with me running the business, I always say to my staff members that it's not about coming to work for a salary.
Right.
It's about coming because you're passionate. Coming because
you believe in the brand. You buy into the company's vision.
Yeah. Coming because you want to make this a career, maybe, or it's a stepping stone towards your career. But don't trap yourself here because you believe that, okay, I got some bills I got to pay and I got this, because trust me, you got to understand, Tonya, when people are dealing with life, everything comes and pounds on you at once.
But, one of my learned friends told me, faith and fear cannot exist.
This is true.
In the same place.
No,
and that was you.
This is true.
It cannot exist.
Oh, well, you know how I go.
Right.
It just
Kiki
doesn't work out.
Kiki was like, "Tonya, you can't be serious. You talking about you want to do this and you talking about you scared, miss? That ain't gonna work. I can tell you now that ain't gonna work, Tonya. You might as well, when you done get over that, then you come back and talk
That's
to
right.
me."
You
and I
call
was
me.
like, shame, like dead shame. But she was absolutely right. It cannot, and even it translates into my relationship as well, because we have stuff to do and we have a lot of stuff to do, and sometimes my fiance is like, he's walking around like, "Oh my God," like defeated, and I'm like, "Listen, we ain't have no time for that. We don't have no room for that. We are gonna get this done. Here are my plans. You commit these to God. You leave it." My grandma used to say, "At the foot of the cross."
That's right.
And you walk away,
That's
and
right.
you know that it's dealt with. And if it's not for you, you won't have it.
This is true.
And my mantra in life is always have a plan B. And so I think that's what you do. You always have a plan B.
That is true.
Yeah.
You must have a plan B, because like you say, you never know when time is going to expire for someone else.
Exactly.
And I believe, like for me, telling people out there, I believe that, even if you're working for someone, you should begin trying to find, what is my purpose?
Yes.
Why
What is
am
my
I
passion?
here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that's important, because I even took it back. And it's amazing, Tonya. I always say, you are born with this gift.
Yeah.
And not until you tap into it, or you say, "You know what, I want to pursue this and I want to find out what it really is," then you really chase after it.
Yeah.
Because I think I posted before on my page where, from a little girl, I would be in the room teaching dolls.
Yeah.
Who were these dolls? And today I believe that these dolls are the people.
Exactly.
That I'm talking to.
Yeah.
What I was telling the dolls, I don't know.
No.
I don't remember.
No.
And then when I looked at my portfolio to work, every time I looked at the photo, I was behind a microphone.
Yeah.
Just speaking.
Yeah.
And so that had something to do. And so you can start to almost put like pieces of the puzzle together as to what it is, I was called to do. And a lot of times we go off to school because daddy want me to go, or mommy want me to go. And I always tell people, if it's for you to just be a garbage collector and you're just starting your own job being a garbage collector, you be the best garbage collector there is.
Yeah.
And the only thing is, with being an entrepreneur, how you king in on the market is you just offer something different. How can you be original? Be a creator.
Or if you cannot offer something original, you create an experience.
Well, that too.
You create an experience.
This is true.
So, like a lot of people, there's gonna be 100 fast food joints. It's gonna be a lot of makeup artists. It's gonna be a lot of photographers. You create an experience. And when you go and you come back, you will say, oh my goodness, Kiki treated me like I was the only client she ever had. She gave me all of her time.
The experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know something, Tonya, and you hit a point, because you have a lot of people that are saying that I want to do makeup, but there's so many good people already in the game.
Yeah.
But
But
you're
they
good
had
too.
They had to start somewhere.
They have to start somewhere.
Exactly.
And you know, everyone is going to have their preference.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to be like, you know, I like glittery eyes. Some people will be like, I just like a natural face.
Yeah.
And I, like me with hairdressers, I don't believe one hairdresser can do everything.
No, you should, but in life you should always have a plan.
That's what I'm saying. And so I have someone that will give me shortcuts. I have someone who could give me the layered looks. I have somebody, that's my choice. And I'm saying that because there's room enough for everybody.
Yeah, of course.
But when I think you get into it and you want to be, let me follow what Tonya is doing, then you hit a roadblock.
I believe in being inspired. I believe in inspiration. But don't be a copycat. Be original.
Be a creator.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the things that we tend to run out in. We just, everyone just follows monkey see,
and we live
monkey
in a,
do.
Yeah, we live in a copycat society.
Yeah. And
You
so
know,
people
I
are
see Kiki doing it. I don't know how she doing it,
right.
but I won't copy what she doing.
But you know what happens? And I always tell people this: do not let money be the motivator.
No, the money will come.
It will come. It
Yeah.
will come. You cannot let money be the motivator, because if it does, what's going to happen is the minute the money is not making, then you're dissatisfied.
Then your passion is gone.
You know, your passion, it was never there.
Yeah.
Because you were just chasing the money. So I believe that even with starting a business or moving into that realm, you have to know that, look, I'm going into it because this is what I love to do.
Yeah.
I eat, breathe, and sleep this. Every morning I wake up, this is all I think about.
Yeah.
And it's like you, Tonya.
Yeah.
I know you're probably all day thinking about how I can
All
change
day.
this, how I can
All
help
day.
this.
And you know what's so funny? The minute like someone comes to me, I almost have to kind of control myself because people come to me and I'll just start reeling off stuff. No consultation. No, and my fiance always is like, you can't do that, you can't keep doing that, you have to charge, you have to this, you have that. And it's because you're so passionate
It's
about
a natural thing too.
You just what you need? No, this ain't how you do this. You needed this, you needed that, you know what I mean?
It's a natural thing too.
So it's a learning curve, but I am here for it. It's been and July, August, September. So it's been about 3 to 4 months, and it's been a roller coaster. Definitely a learning curve, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Wow.
I would not trade it. You have more time with your kids. You have more.
You create your own time.
You don't necessarily have more time for you, but you craft your time. You know what I mean? It's freedom. It's in a whole different. It's unexplainable, but you know when it's your passion. You know. You just know when it's your passion. You know it's your gift, and you know. Is it somewhere in the Bible where it says the gift God gives to you, you have to give it back to Him? And it's almost like a slap in the face if you don't do something with it. I felt like I was sitting on my gift. Like every day I went to work, I was sitting on it.
Well, you was giving it to someone.
When it was in but I felt like I was sitting on it. I felt like I was trapped. I felt like I just needed more.
Yeah.
And if you're that type of person, if you're ambitious, goal-oriented, driven, you want to make some money, you know, what your current situation is not working for you. You're not fulfilled. It's becoming, is it 501? Okay, I gotta go.
Yeah,
out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not. Then it's not for you.
So my last question for you, Tonya. Your fiance being a photographer, you being a marketing brand manager, etc. How does that mesh now for both of you?
Well, we operate on a lot of faith.
I like that.
I cannot say there has been one day that our bills haven't been paid. I cannot say. And from I'm the newbie. He's the veteran. And he can attest more to his story. But for me as the newbie, I can't say. I can't say that I've starved. I haven't had gas in my car. I haven't had, you question, you're like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And you look back, like last week, and you're like, I was worried about that. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I could think about yesterday. I was worried about something.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? And it's a non-issue today.
Faith.
Yeah.
Faith caused that. And you know, that's what my ministry is all about. It's about finding faith, and it's about hearing people's faith journey in whichever part, maybe relationships, work, whatever it is. And what Tonya is talking about tonight, overcoming fear, it's serious. It's serious. Some of us don't know what our gifts are.
Oh.
This is true, but I mean, you don't know because you're not pursuing it.
Yeah.
You know, you have to sit down one day and say, what am I here to do? What was I born to do?
But in reading books again, you know, I learned the thing that you do the most with, the thing you do the best with the least amount of effort is your gift.
Yeah, and what I'm saying again too is the thing that, like, you can do it all day, every day. You wake up,
don't
eat,
get tired,
breathe, sleep. You just do that.
You
know.
just do it.
Like me, I'll be honest with you. I can talk to somebody about relationships all day.
Yeah.
I can talk to somebody about faith all day. I mean,
Yeah.
I can just talk, and I never get tired. And you know what? One of the things that I knew for a fact was my calling and my gift was I love to make people feel good.
Yeah.
I love to motivate and encourage and inspire people.
Yeah.
That was always me.
And
you know?
and even if you're in a service, I just want to say, we're all in service-oriented fields, whether we work for someone or, you know what I mean? The way you make someone feel about themselves is a reflection of you.
I'm telling you.
It's an absolute reflection of you.
I'm telling you.
So, you know, with your gift, you take that, your time, talent, and your treasures, and you just, you know, you keep going. But for people that don't know, like you just think about it. Sit one day, think about it, pray about it. What is it that I do with the least amount of effort? That I'm happiest doing? And that is your gift.
But I go back to saying this again. Believe it or not, you were born with the gift.
Yeah.
All right? And a lot of times the gift was already there from
It's
a
already
child.
there.
And you know what? I'm going to give you an assignment, Tonya, because I guarantee you when you do this, you're going to be like, wow, this has been here all this time.
All this time.
You go back and you just look at life.
Yeah.
Even through high school, and you just think about the things that you were doing. What
Yeah.
were you active in? What were you... And you will see that there was like a reoccurrence of what is happening now. I'm serious. That's what happened to me.
Yeah.
You know? And it was like, when I found it, I was like, hey, this is what I love doing. But fear came in.
Yes.
And I want to share my fear. My fear was that, you know, when God said he wanted me to begin going live on Instagram and having a public figure page, I was like, I cannot do this.
Right.
I cannot do this because now I cannot control who comes on my page. I
Right.
cannot control who's watching me. I cannot control, and that's not me.
Yeah.
I always
I have to
worked
be in
in an
control.
area where I was in
Yeah.
control.
And you're an alpha female.
Right. And so here it is now. I'm opening up myself to everyone.
Yeah.
And, you know, God had to check me, and he was like, you know, this is not about you, sweetie.
No.
You know, you have a page that you could control and lock, but you're going to go on this and you're going to talk.
But not only that, you behind, other than your page, people see you
Well, yeah.
day to day.
No, they do.
You know, and so you can't hide from them.
No, but this is different.
Yeah.
This is different.
Yeah.
I was afraid of this.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I never shared it, but I was very afraid of this because, you know, I was like, you know, people may not like it, and you know, God had to check me and be like, it's not what about people
No,
like. I mean,
no.
if you have 10 people watching, somebody's going to be inspired.
Exactly.
Somebody's going to be touched. And if
Exactly.
you go on and there's nobody there, I still want you to talk.
Exactly.
And that was key for me because I realized that, you know, Kiki, this is really, really, really not about you. Freddie says people don't want to take a risk, but those who do get the greatest will.
Yeah,
and that is true.
For sure.
That is
sure.
true.
For
That
sure.
is that is so true.
Mhm.
If you take a risk, and that's the truth. It's like a gamble. They said like
Yeah.
when you invest, the greater the risk, the
Yeah.
greater the return.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if nothing else, what is life about if you don't take risks?
That
Like
is
you're
so
just gonna be safe.
That is so
You're just
true.
gonna stay right at that dead end job. You're just gonna stay uninspired. Like, what are you doing?
And then you can't sit down and wait for somebody to
No.
motivate you because
No.
that don't always happen.
No.
So you almost got to be a self-motivator. Sharad says our culture doesn't cultivate non-traditional clients from a young age. Even in school, we are taught to work for others. This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. And I don't want to, but in the States, you know, they teach their children to go to school to become leaders.
Yeah.
We send our kids to become
become
followers.
followers.
But I'll tell you something. I told my daughter that you are going off to be your own boss.
Yeah.
You know, you're not coming
Yeah.
back to, because she says to me, Mommy, I'm not going to work for the company. No, babe, you don't have to.
No.
Create your own
Yeah.
brand and do your thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I can't remember. I think I came from church one day.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, more importantly, I find that Dr. Miles Monroe was a really good, he was a great speaker, great man of God, great, he was a great man, you know, and he said, you know, that you should die empty.
You should.
You should not die with whatever dreams.
He is a
that
kingdom builder. And he said too, to add to that, he said in the graveyard is wealth.
Yeah.
And it's wealth because there are songs that have never been sung, and there are books that have never been written, and you know, there's so much wealth in the graveyard, but you're dead.
Yeah.
And so everyone's dream, and I learned this through mentorship. My mentor asked me one day, she said, what do you want people to remember you, you know, as when you pass on?
Yeah.
And I said something, and she said, you know, always let your answer be that you left everything here and you died empty.
And on top of that, for me, when I heard what he said about legacy, I can't build a legacy in somebody else's company.
No, you can't.
No. So I told my fiance, we're gonna create a legacy.
Amen.
That's what we're gonna do.
Amen.
I'm not working. And I'm not 40 yet. But I said to him, I cannot. I refuse to be 40 and working for someone.
This is so true.
And I consider myself an alpha female. But I said, I can't. I just can't. I don't see myself doing that.
Wow.
You know, and that was my motivation. I want to create a legacy for my kid. But,
for your children,
right,
Tonya.
but I want to create a legacy. I don't want. I can't do it any other way. It's not designed. It's not supposed to be that way.
And is it so beautiful that when you pass on, generations to come will know you?
Yeah.
They may not have met you, but they
Right.
would know you.
She is the one who said she's not staying at this job.
Yes.
She is leaving and she's going to pursue her own thing. So she's not only leaving and she don't have no direction, you know what I mean? She's leaving to create her own legacy and for her family and for her kids, and you know what I
And
mean?
do you realize that Layla is not going to work for people?
Correct.
Because now you've broken the cycle of working for people.
And not only that, you know, I'm not sure about boys, but girls, they watch, and you can tell by the things that she says. I can tell by the things that she says that she is very proud of me.
Comments to Tonya, and if you have any comments or questions quickly that you want to throw in, please send them. Nail Life Queen says, this is good stuff, Kriva. Keep it up, hun. Thank you. God bless you, Cara. Juju Lock says, motivate or promote. You are right. Freddie says, true, and I watching and enjoying from Atlanta. Press on. That's my cousin from Atlanta,
Oh,
Freddie.
hi.
And she's here watching as well. And so, you know, I just want to, if there's no further questions, I just want to thank Tonya before I thank everyone.
We're gonna answer our questions from my Instagram as well.
Okay.
But when
All right, cool.
From my Instagram live.
Do you have
So
some?
I can't see it from here, but we'll answer.
Okay.
Like 2 minutes.
Okay. So I just want to thank everyone. Anything you want to say, Tonya? Final remarks to anyone who may be at that spot where you were some months ago.
If you are unmotivated, this is for people that are on the job. If you are unmotivated, if you feel trapped, if you feel, and this was my breaking point, straw that broke the camel's back. If you feel that there has to be more to life than this, time to go.
Time to go. And when you have that gut feeling,
Lord, that gut feeling.
Wow.
You become uncomfortable, like intolerably uncomfortable, if that's even a
your
word.
voice on the phone to me was very irritable. I knew that you were ready to
I was
pop.
like, it's time to go.
Yeah.
It's time to go. I've never had that feeling.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't attribute it to the company that I worked for. It was just time for me to go. I had to fly. I felt trapped. I felt like a bird in a cage. I had to fly. It just wouldn't have worked any other way.
And now you are flying, and you
I'm
are flying beautifully,
Yeah.
Tonya.
Yeah, I bump into a tree every now and
I
again.
know. That's
but
okay. We all do.
some little
And the
scratches.
trees come for lessons.
Yes.
The trees
yes.
are
So
lessons.
I know I can't rub up against that tree no more.
Oh wow.
But yeah, but it's been 3-4 months, and I know that it's gonna be. But I'm ready because all of my entire career has prepared me for this, and I truly believe that. I ran into, and she follows me on social media actually. I don't think she even knows she inspires me so much. She's been in luxury retail for years, and she is at the top of her game. I love her to death. And every time I see her, I'm like, oh my goodness. I always said when I worked with the company, I want her position.
Wow.
And it's so inspiring to see. And I'm like, I almost feel like she's kind of like my spirit animal. But I almost feel like she looks at me and she's like, oh my goodness, she's doing this. And actually, one time she actually did. We were at an event. She said, "I'm so proud of you." And listen, that meant so much to me.
I know.
I was like,
I'm sure.
And I wasn't even here yet. I was still working for someone. And she said, "I'm so proud of you." And if somebody in that position, and you still try to climb your way
and
up,
you're looking up to them,
and you're
they
looking
say
up to them,
you,
and they say, "I'm so proud of you." Meanwhile, you're like, "But I ain't doing nothing." But I know for sure that that she is. So
Okay, so last comments. Katina says, great session, ladies. Bonnie242 says, beautiful ladies, great inspiration. I cannot wait to watch the rerun of this session. Anishka says, inspiring. Dazradine says, very inspiring.
I have
Go
to
ahead.
say from our session, the session that I did with my fiance, there were two people actually that direct messaged me or in the DM. This girl messaged me, and it can say decline or allow your messages, and I hit decline. So I'm gonna ask her if she could resend me
Well,
that
if
message.
she's watching,
if
you're here tonight and
to
you're
resend
watching.
me that message. All I saw was inspiring, and I must have gotten nervous, and I just hit decline for some reason, and not allowed the message to come through. But if you're watching, if you could.
If you're watching, please
Yeah,
resend the
please
message to
resend the
Tonya. She
message.
told me about it, and wow.
Yeah, and I didn't believe Kiki when she said that people actually message you after.
They do.
Yeah,
They do.
there were
Usually
messages.
after every session, my DM is full.
Yeah.
A lot of times people, they may not comment here,
Yeah.
but they want to side note you, and that's fine.
Yeah.
If they want to side note you, maybe they do not
Which is
want to put
fine.
it out there.
Yeah.
But, I just want to thank everyone that
Dazra,
joined
you
us.
should call me. Call me,
Dazra,
Dazra.
give Tonya a call
Yeah.
so that you can work on the little voices
That
that,
little
you're
voice.
hearing, all right? But seriously, I thank God for everyone that joined us tonight. Anyone that's in a fearful position, I'm going to pray that God, the spirit of fear is depleted from your life. And, once you have faith, your faith will move any mountain and every mountain.
Yeah.
I'm a testament of faith. Tonya is here tonight and she's talking about faith. I just want you to be encouraged.
Yeah.
I thank you for joining here. Like I said, it may not be a million people, but someone here tonight was comforted. Somebody was inspired. Somebody was encouraged and motivated. And that's what Faith Talk is all about. I got a DM early today, and the lady said, she just loved the sessions. And I said to her that this is all God. I believe in transparency and giving people the whole truth, because at the end of the day, you see mansions and you see BMWs and fast cars, but everyone did not get there just like that.
Yeah.
There was a process before they got to the mansions and the money and the fast cars. And so, I just want to encourage you that, do not let fear overtake you.
Yeah.
It's not about money, it's about passion. And it's about the passion will link you to your purpose. Therefore, that gift will make room for you to provide. And that's where Tonya is right now, and she's soaring so beautifully. Once again, congratulations. She's going to be married pretty soon. I will be bringing her back on my session. If you are a person that follows me here on Faith Talk, you know exactly what happened a minute ago. You know what happened to me just a minute ago. I am so sorry. Forgive me. I do not just end like that.
No.
But Instagram did it to me. Hashtag. We have
longer
faith.
sessions.
Yeah, we have faith that Instagram is going to give me some more time. Oh my God,
They
because
say
now
it
it's
was
time
too
for me.
late.
Everyone's just popping up now and we're leaving. We're actually closing off, everybody. We're signing off now. I was just thanking everyone for joining us here. Of course, this session will be placed on my YouTube channel. Next week, Jewel, don't forget, you got a hashtag. Oh yeah, that's it. I'm pretty dope. Hashtag give Kiki more time. Instagram is gonna do that for us, all right? Because a lot of times the sessions are just so good.
Yeah.
And you know, the time just not permit us. And this didn't even count down.
It did come down.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, I saw it.
You didn't
but
tell
I didn't,
me.
No,
Oh
of
my
course
God,
I wouldn't stop
Tonya.
These people have hashtags.
I can't have
Give
you on
Kiki
the
more.
production team. You
No.
just allowed this to shut
I just
down
let
on
you,
me.
but I just let you go.
Oh wow.
I just let you go.
Once again, thank you everyone.
No,
the segment
this-
has ended, Crystal. We're
Yeah,
done.
we just came back. But if you have any questions.
If you have any, well, she wouldn't know where to start.
Oh, okay.
She wouldn't know where to start, so she's gonna have to catch this up on the YouTube channel.
Hashtag give Kiki a
Of
show.
course. Hey. If you want to, you can DM Tonya. If you have any questions, you can also DM me. I know that after my session, I'm going to be filled with questions, and I'm always there to answer. This will be posted next week, Thursday, so you can relive the session or you can watch if you missed it. Once again, I want to encourage you, if you want to attend the Dream Board Party, it is next week. I think the deadline is Wednesday. I'm cutting off Wednesday. So if you did not pick up your tickets yet, please, the tickets are $45. Send your email to make your reservations to my Gmail account, and it's right there on the flyer on my page. Please come there. That is a step actually towards what Tonya is talking about. You know, when you create your dream board, you know, fear is starting to be, you know, it will be defeated. And so you have to start somewhere. So I invite you all to attend the Dream Board Party. Space is limited. I think I only have about 10 tickets left now. I had more tickets printed. I was down to 7 and I printed, I think, about 10 more. I cannot take any more people, all right? And the deadline is going to be on next week, Wednesday, all right? So if you're interested, please DM me or email me to make your reservations. Before I sign off, I just want to thank everyone who's working behind the scenes here for Face Talk. Oh my God, my makeup artist, Cody, she at Glow and Glamour, she did both our
She's
faces.
amazing.
Follow her on Instagram. I want to thank my photographer at Ryan G. I think his Instagram is _RyG, and you can find him on Facebook at Ryan G Photography. And then my videographer, Christoph _Roll at Church Boy Photography on Facebook. You can follow all of these amazing people and see what they are doing and see what they're doing for me. I thank God for them, because, you know, I'm just here on Instagram and God does not allow me to repost my sessions, but he allowed me to post it to YouTube. All right. So I just want to thank these people for making it all possible. Once again, good night, everyone. And I will see you next week. Hey, next week, Wednesday, please join me here. Please, you are not going to want to miss next week's session. My guest is not from here. She's actually flying in. This is God. She is flying in to come on the show. All right. She's been watching. She's heard about it. She's been referred. And I really didn't want her to come because I didn't want to put her in that expense. And she was like, no, I am coming to sit on that couch with you. Wow. So I bless God for her. And please, her story is amazing. You want to be here and hear her story, all right? So next week, Wednesday, same time, same place. Good night.